Okay. All right. I think that we are on. It's recording. I see
Yes,
the red dot. Okay.
you're
All right.
good.
See you. I see myself. We're good.
We're
And just to
good.
let everybody know, okay, I'm Taria Hodge of Social Media Saturdays, and this is my very first blab. Okay, so thanks to my trusty co-host over here, Vanessa Collins. She was just like, "We got to do a blab. We got to do a blab. We got to do a blab." So here we are. We are doing a blab this morning. And what we're going to talk about today is 5 savvy ways that you could use live streaming to boost your business exposure. So I promise you that this is going to be great this morning. So I see Kathy. Kathy has joined. Welcome, Kathy. And I see Steve. Welcome, Steve. I think I kind of like this, Vanessa, because everybody pops up right on the left and you could see them, as they're coming in and you could welcome them. So this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Hi.
Hello, hello. Well,
Oh, is
listen,
it Sci-Fi Funk? Hi, Sci-Fi Funk. I see you. It took me a minute to get it, but I got it. Yes, we've just started. Actually, we start at 10. We start at 10 a.m. So you're right on time. You're right on time.
all right. Well, before we get started, we want to make sure we connect with everyone and do as we do in social media fashion. Usually, Taria is doing this on a Google Hangout. So before Taria says, I want you to look above the video, this time we want you to look to the side
Look to the
and right, and make
left.
sure you share this out on Twitter. And it also looks like we can share out on Facebook. Now, we were just on Blab 2 days ago going over some of this information I was showing Taria around. And lo and behold, I come back today and they've changed everything. So
Don't you
you
just
can just,
love it when that happens?
I know, right? So you can click the little bird to share it out. And you can also share out on Facebook. Now, when I'm clicking the Facebook, I'm not getting anything, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, I was able to share out on Facebook. And let me just say, Vanessa, we have Ed Womack in the house.
Sir Ed, Sir Ed.
Thank you for
Uh,
joining us this morning, Ed.
yes, yes.
Welcome, welcome.
Now, at some point, Ed and Pastor Clark, we're going to ask you to join us and take the hot seat. So Ed, I know you have to. You the man. You the man. I know you don't have to
Yes.
spruce up or anything, but just
I've
letting
been
you know.
I've been following Ed Womack and his periscopes. He's been doing a lot of
Oh,
scopes,
he
and so we're
does
going to
some
talk a little bit
awesome.
about that today too. So good job on that. I see you. I see you, Ed. I see you.
Also, at the top, you will see all of the people that have joined us in the group.
Mhm.
And we want to encourage you to follow these people. So it's very easy to do here on Blab. All you have to do is put your cursor over their name. And I love this because when you put your cursor over their name, you get to see some information about them. Like
Ooh.
Hillary, so glad to have you here. She is a magazine editor, a speaker, a trainer, and you can find her at hillarysteele.com. You want to make sure that you follow Hillary. And of course, we got Ed Womack of Man Rise Up, and he is an author, a life transformer, and he is absolutely awesome. So you want to make sure you follow him.
Yes, yes. Thank you for joining us this morning, Ed.
Yes, and we got Steve Sci-Fi Funk. He makes sci-fi 3D animations. Oh, Steve,
Woo!
we may have
Yes.
to get together.
I
I'm a
love it.
publisher. We may have to do some stuff. Kathy, she is a business development and process management. She does nonprofits. We want to follow Kathy. So you get the gist. And we're going to have a chance to visit a little bit with everybody in the room. And you just want to go through and make sure you are following folks.
And this is what I like about live streaming, Vanessa. This is like networking on a totally different level. How cool is it for you to meet people all across the globe, all across the world, and just network, get a chance to know a little bit more about them? This is awesome.
Yeah, Steve said networking on steroids.
Yes.
And then also for some of you that's a little new to Blab, you'll see on the right-hand side, everybody's comments, and you can interact with those comments. You can hit a star to like their comment, and you can also hit the little back arrow that will allow you to respond directly to them. And every now and then, you see at the top, it has all messages. You may want to click over to mentions every now and then and make sure that someone hasn't mentioned you in a comment that you've missed. So we really want to make sure that we interact with everyone. I see Dakisha in the house.
Dakisha is here this morning. So we have Dakisha, none other than Dakisha Chambers Williams, and she's a business strategist, creating those kick butt profit plans. So if you need a profit plan, then you know who you got to connect with, and that would be Dakisha Chambers Williams. So thank you for joining us this morning.
Yep. And the only other thing, last thing before we get started, is if you like what we're saying, if something that one of the speakers says resonates with you, please make sure to give us some hands, give us some hearts, and connect with us. Also, a little trick here. If those of you that know how Twitter works, you know that Twitter does not allow you to post duplicate tweets. So if you have already shared this on Twitter, you may not be able to share it again until someone new comes in the seat. So when someone new comes in the seat, that changes the tweet and you can share it again. So we will try to remind you, as we try to remember, to remind you as people get in and out of the seats that you can retweet this out. All right, so Taria.
Yep, I think we're just going to go ahead and get started. So today, just a discussion. We're going to talk about 5 savvy ways that you could use live streaming in your business to generate or create more exposure. I've had this question several different times over the past month or so, and I'm a Google Hangouts girl. So I've been hanging out on the Hangouts and doing all my training on the Hangouts, and then next thing you know, up comes Periscope, and everybody's scoping, and they're like, Taria, are you on scoping? And so I started on Periscope, and I absolutely love the scopes. I love the energy. I love the vibe. I love that it's instantaneous. It's right there. It's spontaneous, and it's in a minute. You could just jump on and listen to what people are sharing, and you too could just get on at any time that you feel like sharing something and share it. And it's kind of interesting how we ended up on Blab today, because we actually a couple weeks ago, we tried to do a Periscope, and Periscope failed. It went
down. It was down.
Okay. So we do an awesome thing here that's called Pass the Scope. And as we were getting ready for our Pass the Scope on Wednesdays, it went down. It was just like, oh my gosh. So we had to quickly convert, to another solution. And we, used Google Hangouts, and we made it work. So that prompted us to say, you know what, let's go ahead and, take a look at Blab, because Vanessa has been on Blab, but I've never been on Blab before. So this is my first time on Blab. Okay. So bear with me if I'm like a kid in a candy store and I'm looking around and that's because it's all new to me. But I'm telling you, I love it already. I definitely love the fact that we could see, people on the side and see all the comments, which you really can't do that so much in the Google Hangouts. So this is really nice for me, and I don't have to read as fast.
That's on Periscope.
So Vanessa, I think I'm loving this. I think I'm loving the Blab. So
that's sold another Blab. I need to be a brand evangelist for Blab. Okay, I'm gonna contact them and say, listen, I need to be a brand evangelist.
Yes. Yeah, so this is really good. I love this. So that's the reason why we're here on Blab today, and we're taking our social media Saturdays. And so many of you, if you aren't familiar, with who I am or who Vanessa Collins are, we're the hosts of Social Media Saturdays. And Social Media Saturdays is designed to do exactly this. Okay, bring you up to date information, on social media, and then for entrepreneurs and business leaders, how you could incorporate social media into your strategy, okay, into your business strategy, because that's what it's all about. Social media, some of us see it as a fun tool, but how you could just turn it on, use it for your business, and help you accomplish some of your business goals. So that's why we're here this morning. Okay. All right. So Vanessa, did you want to start it off with the first one?
Let's start it off. Number one. I hope you have your notes. I hope you have your notes ready to go. Number one of the number one ways that you can use live stream to boost your company's exposure is using live stream to build your mailing list. Now, Taria does this awesome job in teaching the revenue prospecting sequence. And in that, she talks about the difference between a lead and a prospect. And Taria just hurts our hearts sometimes because we're all happy about the followers we have. And, I got this many people on Twitter and this many people on Facebook. And Taria just hurts our hearts by telling us that these leads are worth zero until they do something to become a prospect. And so live stream allows you to get people to do something to get on your mailing list. Having people on Twitter and Facebook is fine. It's wonderful. But until those people actually get on your mailing list, they are not worth a whole lot. You got to get them on your list.
Well, let me just say this, Vanessa, and this is what I absolutely love about the live streaming platform, okay? Because number one, people want to connect with us. It's the build a like, no one trust factor. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is the thing. When you are on platforms that allow you to just, type in and text and people have to, read your information, that's great. So, you have your business page on Facebook. People could go to your business page. They could check out your business page. They could follow your tweets on Twitter. They could even visit your website. But what I love about live streaming, they have the opportunity to connect with you on a deeper level. So sometimes, and as you're talking, about generating prospects and building your list. A lot of times, we put our things out there, we have our call to actions, we have our free gifts that we're offering. And sometimes we're wondering exactly why aren't people subscribing? That's because they really don't know who you are. And what I love about live streaming, it brings the human side, to your business. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this way people could get on there. They could see who you are. They could connect with you. They could talk with you. Just exactly what we're doing here this morning on this blab. So that's another important way, like you're talking about building your list. This is one of the quickest ways using live streams, okay, that you could connect. And like I said, it's all about building that like no one trust factor.
Absolutely. Now, I want to give you 3 quick tips on how to use live stream to build your mailing list. 1, you have to make sure that you have a call to action that is ready to go and that is easy to communicate. When you're on live stream, as opposed to putting a Facebook post out there where people just have to click the link, when you're on live stream, you are giving them that information audibly. So it has to be something that they can do quickly, that they don't have to remember a long website. So you want to make sure that you have a call to action ready to go. I've seen so many Periscopes, wonderful Periscopes. I mean, the bomb Periscopes, wonderful blabs, even wonderful Google Hangouts, but they don't give a call to action. that allows me to want to connect with them.
Yes.
Now, sometimes they give a call to action that wants me to buy their products. And we talk about that sometimes, Taria.
Yes.
It's like the whole dating thing, the whole, I'm just meeting you, right? So, I'm looking at you from across the room and you're looking at me. Our eyes connect. And in the regular dating scene, what's the next move? The next move is, well, can we exchange information? Mm-hmm. Can I have your phone number? Can I have your email address? You do not want me walking up to you saying, hey, I just noticed you from across the room.
Marry me.
Yes, marry me. I want to have your children. Can we retire? And I would love for you to take care of me for the rest of my life. That's what you're doing when we first meet, and you're asking me to buy your $997 program. And I don't know who you are.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you have an appropriate call to action. This is the place where you give away content, you give away something, and you got to make it so people can get it. And you
build a value.
You want to use a link shortener. This is not the time to come out with your big, long URL and expect somebody to connect with it on live stream. People are looking at live stream on this. They're dealing with this. They're looking at their phone. So you want to give them something that is short. Use a link shortener. You also want to make sure, third point, that you have a text message system in place, so that they can text a word to a particular number to connect with you. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. And if you have your own examples, I want you to type them in the message. Now, if you have a call to action, and you got to turn on your computer. You got to wait for your computer to boot up to find what your link is. You got to do something about that. So I want you, as we go to point 2, as Taria takes us to point 2, I want you to share in our message, share what your call to action is. Give us the link. Give us the number that we need to text.
And as a matter of fact, before I get into point number 2, Vanessa, I'm just going to go ahead and type that in.
Absolutely. Also, when you're doing live stream, depending on what you're using, sometimes you can share your screen, sometimes you can't. Now, with Blab and Periscope, you cannot share your screens at this moment. So you need to come up with something that's a little creative. So I have my little handy dandy whiteboard here. And I don't know if this is coming up backwards, Taria. You can let me know.
No, it's perfect. It's not backwards.
Okay, so you have to share
with me that trick.
My call to action is, I'm an author and a book publisher and a writing coach. So if you want to know how to write your book fast, how to outline your book and get started, voila, you can get my free gift by texting the word renew to 66866 or visiting bit.ly fast outline. Now, the bit.ly fast outline, if I was to give you the actual URL for that, I don't even remember what it is. I think it's vanessacollinsllc.com/fast_ outline your book fast.com. It's something crazy. So, the bit.ly helps us out.
I love it. All right. And what I did, I went ahead and I typed mine's in the chat. Okay. So this was really cool. So I said, please forgive me, bear with me. I'm new to Blab, so I'm just loving this. So my offer of value today, if you would like to receive a free copy of 7 Ways to Generate 10,000 Prospects Using Social Media, you could go ahead and type 10K prospects, all one word, 10K prospects to 240-248-6333. Once again, that's 10K prospects, all one word, to 240-248-6333. Okay, so we're just going to roll right into the second point. Okay, the second point of using live stream, another way that you could use live stream for your business is so people could experience your brilliance in real time. And this is what I absolutely love about live stream platforms. I meet so many business leaders, so many entrepreneurs on a regular and daily business. And I just love the fact that you guys have so much to share. You know, as entrepreneurs, it's our nature to create. Did you know that? It's our nature to create and look for ways to make things better. And live stream just gives people a way to connect with you, you know, to have a discussion like we're having the discussion now about what it is exactly that you do in your business. Also, many coaches, I noticed Dr. Wright, Dr. Letitia Wright, you know, out of California, she does crowdfunding, and I could count on at least a week, at least 3 blabs she does on the topic of crowdfunding. Okay, so if you are looking, you know, for more information on crowdfunding and you want to know how it works, you want to know if it's something that you could incorporate into your business, okay, Dr. Wright, she's excellent at that. And she uses Blab to do those, you know, sessions, you know, those question and answer sessions. If you're a coach out there, this is a great way for you to host your coaching platform, okay? And then that way other people could kind of get a sneak peek of what it is that you do in your business and ask you questions. So it's really cool. And then, like I said before, I just love it. I love the fact that this is my first time and you guys really showed me love. I set this up on Thursday, came in, and, you know, there was all these people just waiting, waiting to watch. So it's a great way to have other people connect with you. So make sure when you're using live stream that you are asking people to go ahead and connect with you on your platforms.
Now I think we have a question.
Okay.
And remember, if you want to make sure your question shows up, I think it's, oh gosh, now I can't remember if it's Q / or / Q.
I think it's back. We did the / then the Q.
Yes, / Q to make your questions come up. But Carmen, I think, asked how she made the letters show correct. If that is me, I just wrote it the regular way, and I think it's because of my camera. And I'm just using the camera on my laptop. I have seen some where they've come up backwards, and I'm not sure what they did or how to correct it. So that's something you have to look in. Hello, Dr. Doctor is in the house.
Oh, Dr. Doctor joined us. Welcome, yes. Dr. Doctor. Thank you for joining this morning.
The other thing that, Taria, that I like about allowing people to see your brilliance is in Blab, you could do laser focused coaching sessions. So just think about your coach and whatever it is that you help people with, you can invite people to come in, take the hot seat, and you can show, you know, give them some really good help and content. It only needs to be 2 or 3 minutes. And this will help the person. And it shows everybody else in the room how you do your thing. So it is absolutely wonderful for that.
Love it. And I think I was trying to figure out, Vanessa, we did it earlier, how to get the question to show up. Okay.
It's /Q and then you type your question in.
/Q and then the question. Good morning, Dr. Doctor. I see you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Love it. Love it.
All right. Well, let's roll on to number 3. Live stream allows you, and this kind of connects with number 2, to answer questions clearly and immediately. Now, if you're using Periscope, make sure that you use catch.me. And I'm going to type it into the room because everybody gets this wrong sometimes, but it's catch with a K. Catch.me, set it up for your Periscope so that when you finish your Periscope, anybody who types in a comment, it shows up. And you can go back and you can connect with those people if they're Periscope and their Twitter handles are the same. But that gives you an opportunity to connect with them. Here in Blab is wonderful because you can see all the questions on the side. And Dakisha is asking about the social media flash mob.
Yeah, I told her that we did a shout out. We did some shout outs earlier.
Yes. Okay? Well, so you know what? It's time to do another one, Taria. It's time to do another one.
I love it. Okay, so let's take a look at who we have joining us today. So we have Dr. Nikisha Doctor.
Well, let's explain to everybody, Taria, what you're doing and how you're finding that information.
Oh, okay, great. That's a good point because I actually just clicked on Dr. Nikisha's doctor. So over to the left in the chat area, you'll see the participants who have joined us in the chat area.
And above the top, you'll see all of them
as well. And what I just did is I clicked on Dr. Nikisha's doctor's name. Okay. And what that would allow me to do is get some information on who she is and what she does. Okay. So Dr. and I call her the impact educator, but she's a communication catalyst. She's a speaker, educational consultant for parents, youths, and educator. So thank you and welcome, and thank you for joining us this morning. Okay. So let me see who else we have out there. All right. We also have the Mom Ledger. So G, the Mom Ledger, welcome and thank you for joining us this morning. And G says, being a mom and loving it. So that's exactly what she does. First and foremost, being a mom and loving it. And she's a techie girl just like me. So I'm feeling it, techie girl at heart. Okay. And if you want to follow her a little bit further, you could follow her also on Fitbit. So thank you once again for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. So we want you guys to go across the top and make sure that you are following everybody that's in the room. Okay. So we're talking about being able to answer questions that come up. Now, when you're in Blab, it's pretty easy to do. People can answer those ask those questions right on the side. You need to instruct people how to do it because this is a new platform for most of us. And remember that Blab is in beta. So it is changing and changes quickly. So for instance, Taria and I were just in here 2 days ago and there was not a question section on the left-hand side. Right. Now there is. So you want to make sure that you let people know how to answer or how to ask questions. And then, of course, if you're using a Hangout, you want to make sure that you have a Facebook group set up or you're using Twitter chat, some type of Twitter chat with a hashtag to collect questions, and you can always go back and answer them. Don't think that just because your broadcast has ended that your engagement has to end. Right. You have the chance to go back afterwards and connect with those people.
Yeah, and that's something that, I found that with using the Google Hangouts, if you do set up, like you said, a private, Facebook group, that's where we have our group, a private Facebook group, you could continue the conversation for weeks on end, and that's the thing about webinars anyway. Once you have a webinar and you host your question and answers in your webinar, when that webinar goes away, that information goes away along with it. So, even days after, if people are watching the replay, there's no way for them to reach out to you really, and ask questions. Okay. So you do want to set up, some type of community where you could keep engaging with the people who are following you, because after all, that's what it's all about. It's all about being a resource. Once again, building that like, know, and trust factor. And once people know that they could connect with you, and get help, get the answers to the questions, then, you're well on your way, to building and developing a relationship. So, yes. All right. So the next point, we're just going to move on to tip number 4. What I actually absolutely love also about these types of platforms, it gives you the opportunity to create content. So this is another way. If if you struggle to write, let me just say that again. If you are not a writer, I know Vanessa is on here. Vanessa is a writer. She's an author. Okay. So that's no problem for Vanessa. Okay. But someone like myself, I'm not a writer. I struggle in the writing department. A platform like this, is wonderful for me because at the end of the day, I could take the content and I could repurpose the content. Okay, I could share it out on my different social media platforms. And just to let you guys know, you also want to be doing that as well. Okay, so when you create your scopes, when you get on your Blab, when you do your Google Hangouts, okay, you want to make sure that you are repurposing that content. You're giving people the opportunity to connect with you on different platforms. Don't make the assumption because you are on one platform and you like it, that means your entire audience base is on that same platform with you. Try to position yourself where your audience is. Okay, so take a look, do some surveys, find out where your people who are connecting with you, where they are, and then you could position yourself strategically to be there as well.
Absolutely. Now, a couple of things that you need to make sure that you have set ahead of time, and that is make sure that your phone is set to automatically download your videos when you do a Periscope. That is absolutely imperative because that is some great content and you can decide,
Okay, someone says, oh, Helga has joined us. Good morning, Helga. Welcome for joining.
Okay, she says she can't hear me. Can you hear me, Taria?
Yeah, I was hearing you fine.
Okay.
Okay, Dikisha says she can hear you. Okay. So Helga, you might want to adjust your headset. Make sure that your speakers aren't on mute.
Right. All right. Well, make sure that you have your phone set to automatically download your video. Now, you can decide later that you don't want to use it, but you know what happens when you do live events. You guys are all business owners, speakers. You've been there. Now, however you want to classify it as, you get in the flow. If we were in church, we would say, you get in that anointing. And a lot of times you will have planned to say something and you end up going in a whole new direction. And you're like, wow, that was great. I wish I had recorded it. So you want to make sure you always are recording your scope. So you just set that on your phone and you can set it and forget it. Make sure you have catch set up, that it automatically catches all of your periscopes. So you don't have to remember to put hashtag catch in because you may be doing a scope on the fly and you don't remember to put it in. Set it automatically, set it and forget it. And then as Taria said, you can have that information on YouTube, on your website. You can repurpose that information.
Okay. I have two things before we move on to the next point. Okay. So I'm over here and I'm so tickled pink. Okay. Sherry McKenzie has a little dancing bird over to the left. Okay. Absolutely amazing.
Sherry, you got, okay. All right. After we get past number 5.
But before you go on, we have a question actually. So we have a question from Dr. Nikisha Doctor. And her question is based upon what I just spoke about positioning yourself where your audience is. How do you research where your audience are? This is a great way, Doctor, for you to start taking surveys. Okay. So when you do your coaching sessions and you connect, with people who are following you, do a survey. Okay. Just simply ask, are you on social media? Which social media sites are you on? Okay. And you could even ask the reason why, because people get onto certain social media sites for different reasons. So if you haven't started using surveys, in your business, okay, survey your clients.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then also track your responses. This is another thing. So if you have different social media accounts out there and they're set up and you're posting, on a regular basis, take a look and see how many people are interacting and engaging with your content. That would also give you, a good idea, where your audience is, okay, where they are, the type of things that they're interested in hearing from you. And there's no hard and fast rule about social media. I tell people all the time, take a look and see what's working, and what's working, keep doing it. The things that aren't working, then you want to concentrate your energies other places, okay? But you never know unless you ask. Start to survey your current clients, put it out on Facebook. I see Facebook has surveys. You could do a survey or a poll. That's what they call it on Facebook. Find out what other sites besides Facebook your audience, is on. Okay?
Of course, I have some other more sneaky ways of finding out that information. You know me, I have to go behind the scenes and do some, no, it wouldn't be called espionage, but, do some other things. One of the things that I have my authors to do when we're doing our social media coaching and all of that for authors is that I have them to make a list of the people that typically follow you, who would be your audience. Now, I'm pretty familiar with Dr. Doctor's brand, so here are a couple of things just off the top of my head. Dr. Doctor, her people are educators. Her people are parents, young parents, older parents, grandparents, because a lot of times grandparents are the ones that are not going to give toys for Christmas. They're going to give something educational. So there are a couple of different groups of people that would enjoy Dr. Doctor's materials. Now you got to find out where those people are. You only need a couple of them. So you find out where some of your parents are. Look at them on Twitter and look and see who they follow. Look the brands that speak to your brand. Look and see who they follow, and then get your message out in front of those people. So when you go into the Facebook ads and all of that, you can put your message out in front of those people. Social media allows for a ton of research. The research is just there. The data is there. You just have to go in and kind of sift through it and figure it out. So when I think of Dr. Doctor, I think of, people who follow Scholastics. Because that's an education brand. People that follow whatever the education magazine would be. Highlights is a good one, Dr. Doctor. I don't know if you guys remember Highlights. Takesha, I don't know if you remember Highlights. But Highlights is this children's magazine.
The magazine, yes.
Yes.
Summer Kid.
Yes. You need to go. Or anybody, you remember Highlights? Highlights is so cool, right? So you need to go and see if Highlights is even still out there.
You went way back.
I know, but go to their website, find them on Twitter, and find the people that follow Highlights. People that follow Highlights are concerned about their children's education. They are concerned about their children's learning. And those are the people. I don't know if it's still around either. So that's why I said you got to kind of go and find it.
And find them.
Yeah, but
I was just about to say, we had another question from Sci-Fi Funk, and he wanted to know, you talked about, researching and following other brands. He wanted to know do you use automated tools to do that, or do you do it manually?
There are some automated tools that you can use to do that. I know I use Manage Flitter sometimes for Twitter to find some stuff, but I still like doing stuff kind of manually, I guess. So I haven't turned total automation, but I love going into Facebook and looking at the
Yeah,
insights.
I was just about to say
Mhm.
it's a combination of both.
Yes.
Okay. And like you mentioned, I was just about to say Facebook Insights too, because a lot of times we kind of overlook Facebook Insights. But if you really get into your Facebook Insights and go into those little tabs and start clicking on the details, it will give you an exact, demographic of who's liking your stuff, what they look like, the age range, whether they're male, female, what the interests are. And then
Yes.
that way you could better position, your content,
Yes.
okay, based on that too. So if you haven't started, to use your Facebook Insight, and let me just say this, in order for you to have access to Facebook Insights, you do have to have a business page.
Yes,
okay?
absolutely.
So that's another thing that I also noticed too, Vanessa. A lot of times, we have entrepreneurs out there, and what I call it is that their personal page is kind of masquerading as a business page, which means you got on, Facebook and you set it up under a personal account, but you only post stuff for your business there.
Yes.
You are shortchanging yourself. Go ahead and set up that Facebook business page.
It's free.
Yeah, it is free. You could have unlimited number of pages. Okay, so that way, if you have different things that you do, because as entrepreneurs, we kind of wear many hats. So if you do have different things that you do, different things that you would like to promote, you could create a separate business page for each. So you don't have to have everything running into one. Okay. And then take a look at the insights. Okay. Get access to the Facebook Insights. So that's going to be my tip today. If you don't have a Facebook business page, set up one. Okay. And then start using and tracking your insights.
Well, you know what? We have generated a bunch of traffic to highlights.
I think we got Dakisha joining us.
Yes, Dakisha, come on
so
in.
She's in.
Come on in. It looks like it's trying to bring her in. Hey, Dakisha.
She is.
Are you loving this or what?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you.
Hey, yo, I had to come see what all of this blab was about.
All right, guys, listen, we have a new person in the seat, which means you can tweet this out again on Twitter. So just go ahead and hit Tell a Little Bird, and it will allow you to tweet it out again because we have someone new in the seat.
Nice. I like it.
Well, it's so good that you're here, Dakisha, because that goes into our last and final step.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. And that is live streams like this, particularly Blab and Google Hangouts. Not so much Periscope yet, but Blab and Google Hangouts allow you to connect and collaborate with your power partners.
Okay, and I think we have another person that wants to join us. So I'm just going to go ahead and let Nadir Nad in.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And let's see if
right,
they'll be able to make it in.
See. Now, typically, let folks in.
Because I see an egg.
Close it out. Close
no
it out.
Eggs, no eggs. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you have to have.
You gotta have a picture. Hit the X.
Yep, you have to have your picture up there in the description. We have to know a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
So, wait. Before we get started, we have America's favorite couple in the house.
Oh, really?
The Greens are in the house.
Vanessa,
yeah,
I am loving this.
Trust me, okay?
I am loving this.
Nice.
Dakisha, so tell us, what do you think about what we've presented this morning? I know you are a periscoper. You do some scopes. Listen, let me tell y'all though, Dakisha will hurt you. All right? Dakisha put a hurting on us about business plans and making sure that we know where the money is.
That's
so,
right.
Takesha, don't ask me about no money today because I don't know where all the money is yet. But
I'm
gonna know November 1st. I'm gonna know how much I made in October come November 1st. But
you got a little while to figure out what your October revenue is. I'll ask you tomorrow on the 1st.
All right. So what you think, Takesha?
I've been sitting here since you guys went on air. I love this platform, and I'll tell you a couple of reasons why. And I'm gonna tell you now. You probably see an article about it next week. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. Because I did the same thing with Periscope. Now, the way that I'm seeing this now is I like the interaction with Periscope. I can talk about what it is that's on my mind. I can share my message, and you can grow your audience. And I love the instant, gratification, the instant notification. But when it comes to the Blab platform, we do the live streams and the hangouts. I'm loving seeing the conversation on the side. I'm loving seeing the interaction on the side. They're actually following, I'm getting notifications now on my phone that people are following me on Blab. I see the questions over here. So there's immediate interaction on this particular platform. Whereas you're live streaming, you're just talking and you're talking to your guests. You're talking to the individuals that are on with you, but you don't really get that immediate interaction with the audience. So I like the fact that the audience is here. Mm-hmm. They can ask questions immediately. You can see it over here. But Vanessa and Taria, you all know what I'm getting ready to say. You know what I'm getting ready to say.
What you about to say?
I believe in the sequence, and I'm all about, the events. I'm all about, the live streams, whether you're having a live event, a webinar, a blog, a broadcast, or a blog. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? You have to get very creative in order to build your list. So when I saw you with your gift and your whiteboard, that's awesome, because now people, that's right. Individuals don't have to. Somebody need to be blocked. I don't know how you block them. Who is that?
I don't know how to do that as yet.
Yeah, Mito, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, because Mito need to get off if you don't want to hear.
Mito, I'm about to pray on you if you don't know. If I don't figure out how to block you, you can kick them out the room. Okay, Takesha.
I found it.
Okay, I was gonna say you can do it, Taria.
I got
it. That is too funny. Yeah,
I think I got it.
Listen, we have a block party now.
No, but in order to generate the leads and the prospects, you're building your list. So you still have to generate a way that you can interact with the individuals after the Blab is over. That's the whole way that you start to generate revenue in your business. There is an interaction after the fact, right? There is the after party. So what are you doing in order to interact with your prospects or interact with your viewers that are watching now? There has to be some follow-up sequence. So you have to get creative about getting them on your list, and getting them in your tribe. So Taria was talking about earlier, getting them into your group on another social media platform so the conversation can continue. So this is awesome. I love it. You guys are rocking out. You're sharing some great tools, some great questions. So I just had to peep in and see kind of what's going on.
Now, Takesha, the cool thing is that there is actually a Blab app for your phone, and you can join in from your phone, which I know for Google Hangouts can be kind of challenging. I don't even know if you can join in Google Hangouts from your phone. But for Blab, you can actually join in on your phone. And again, you can run your whole Blab from your phone.
Right.
I will admit, I just changed the notifications because I wasn't getting any notifications from Blab.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I had to go in. So now it keeps going off.
But But that's a good point, Vanessa, that many of these live stream platforms, you're not limited, to your desktop or to your laptop computer. So you could, jump on and engage practically from anywhere on your mobile device, whether it's on your phone or whether it's on your iPad. So I think that that's really cool, that you could just, once again, be just in real time with your audience.
Awesome. Well, listen, I want to invite some folks that are in the room. If you are using Blab in your business or live streaming your business, want to invite you to click the open seat and share with us about your Blab for just a few minutes. We have about 10, 11 minutes left.
About 11 minutes more.
So
okay.
We want to invite some people to come on in, click the open seat, and Taria will let you in. And just tell us what you thought about the broadcast today, and you can use this opportunity to share your Blab.
Okay, and then while we're waiting, yes, we have the greens.
She's like, let me in.
Okay.
They're coming in.
Now, here's another thing. Here's another tip, though, to let people know. This generally, if you're coming in from your computer, it generally works better on Chrome. Sometimes Firefox
from Internet Explorer.
Internet Explorer sometimes does not work. So
good to know.
Yeah. So if you have somebody coming in and it keeps it's trying to connect, sometimes it does that with the phone also.
Okay. Yep. So we have James and Cynthia Green actually from Marriage Built to Last, and I'm pretty excited that they're actually on this platform. I can't wait, for them to come in on the seat, because I know that they're also going to start a show talking about what would you do. So just a little bit about James and Cynthia Green and Marriage Built to Last. They're marriage enrichment coaches. So if any of you guys out there, married, and let me just say this, what I've learned from working with Cynthia and James is a lot of times when people talk about marriage coaches, they wait until their marriage is in trouble. To seek a coach. Okay.
All right.
So you don't
guys
have to wait
to X out and try to come in again. Yeah, because it looks like it got hung up.
Okay. All right. So let's try that again. Oh, I want them to be able to get on.
I know. And I don't know if you guys are using the phone or if you're coming in on your computer.
So while we're waiting for the greens to come in, Dikisha, you have a question, okay? Yeah. Sunny Fridge wants to know what's your passion or your business. So what it is that you do.
Oh, wow. A great question. So what I do is I help business owners to create a profit plan so that they can magnetize their marketing message and expand their brand. Oftentimes, most business owners have a very, very hard time to, number one, promote and sell their products. And to be quite honest with you, a lot of business owners, speakers, authors, they don't even have products in their business. So what I do is I help them to identify additional revenue streams in their business, because a lot of times we're leaving money on the table. And there's a blueprint that we use that we're going to be training on today. And it's the Evergreen event sequence. Number one, to help you get more people to your event, to help you get more people to your blabs like this and to your live stream so that you can have a higher conversion rate. It's all about the numbers. When you're in business, it's all about knowing your numbers. I know Vanessa's like, oh, here she goes.
I saw the face.
But you have to know your numbers when you're dealing in business and different platforms like this. And so to be quite honest with you, it's Sunny Fridge. I've been in leadership development for 20 years. I've been in retail operations management, and it is just innate and it's in me to help other people achieve their dreams and their goals. Like I can't explain it, but it just burns me to see that there are tools, strategies, systems, software, blueprints. And yes, I have my sequence right here.
Nice.
That I use And so that's what I help, because I was just having a conversation yesterday, and I might have mentioned this to you, Taria. A lot of times we just, we have this great idea and we just throw it out there. And when it falls, and I don't want to say fail, we ask ourselves, well, is my product not good? Is my book not good?
And you start second guess.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that the product is bad, but if they don't know you exist, if they don't know your book exists, then how can I purchase from you? How can I become a client of yours? So there's a process that you have to go through, and I help people go through that process.
Well, Dakisha, make sure you type over in the, we're getting some feedback. Make sure that you type over in the message area where people can register for that training that you have coming up.
Well, actually, we're doing it today on Blab. Okay, so we're ending this Blab in the next 5 minutes, and then we're going to start again in the next hour. Okay, so 12 noon or 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to join Dakisha and myself for the Evergreen Prospecting Sequence meets the Evergreen Event Sequence. Okay.
They left me out, y'all, but that's fine.
No, you're welcome to join us.
Don't do it. It's forcing, right? It's
right. Exactly. Okay. So
that's all right. I'll be there. I'll be up there with y'all with the Evergreen Affiliate Sequence.
That's right.
I'm waiting.
There you go.
All right. Well, the Greens are trying to come back in. And I hope we get them in. If not, we're going to open the seat to let someone else come in. Like I said, we got 5 minutes to go. Oh.
Come on, Cynthia. You got it.
All right. Well, listen, we want to invite someone else.
Steve Payne is coming in, which is Sci-Fi Funk. So I thank for joining us this morning.
What's happened to my picture? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can't see your picture, but we can hear you.
I get so compulsive and then I don't sort myself out. Here we go.
He looks like a pro. We got the big mic there.
Yeah.
Indeed. And I'm looking at your comments. It looks like you are kind of an expert on this Blab thing.
I wouldn't say that, but I think we're all learning simultaneously.
Nice.
The one thing sorry.
No, go ahead.
The one thing I'd like to add in, I mean, thank you very much. Excellent Blab. I think it's been very engaging. Is the face-to-face networking that was never possible before, and now it kind of builds your Twitter interaction to a new level, because you think, well, I know that person now. I've talked to them face-to-face maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, So, I'm just loving it. I've been hiding away for 5 years doing this 3D animation, and now it's like, hey, I can meet the world. So it's
nice.
So tell us where you're from.
I was just about to ask where you're from. We hear an accent.
I love this accent. I'm sorry. I'm loving the accent.
Well, I'm from England, so we got the Queen's English here coming at you.
Nice.
So is that where you currently are?
Yes, I live in Bournemouth, which is on the south coast. We are one of 3 places in England where you have palm trees.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that was possible.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
See, that's another thing I love about
some palm trees.
I had one in the front garden of my previous house, palm tree.
Nice.
This is another thing that I just love about Blab is, it's not like I would have run into Steve walking down the street or anything. But with Blab, you have that ability to just go in and out of different rooms. So in my mind, they're like rooms, just going in and out of different rooms and finding really great content and connecting with people. Now, Steve, how have you been using Blab for your business?
So networking. So, I understand the content marketing. I've been doing that for 5 to 6 years, just generating content. And that's good. That is very useful. But the thing I've ignored is meeting people. So, that's why I think, you think of the efficiency of this. Just in this, we've been doing this for an hour. I've connected with about eight new people.
Wow.
Just like that, and met you good people. You now know who I am. I know who you are.
Yes.
And the visual aspect is so powerful in that we will remember each other's faces and something of what we stand for the next time. It really builds very quickly.
Yes. I love it. Well, thank you once again for joining us this morning. Love it. All right, thank you. All right, so this is absolutely wonderful. Now we have Cherie. Cherie is popping in. Sherry, I got it right, Sherry. I hope I got it right. I've been trying to put a twist on your name all morning.
Yeah.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, Sherry. How are you?
Good morning. And I want to say I have enjoyed you ladies tremendously. Okay. I got up this morning and I was doing some writing and I said, well, let me just run over to Blab because I'm all over, okay? And I saw you and I came on because Vanessa and I have been on a Blab in the comment section before. So
It's so good to see you.
Nice.
But in answer to your question, I use Blab in a number of ways. Like the previous gentleman who I know, I use it for networking, but I also do a podcast. So periodically I may go on and I'll download and fix later. When I say fix, I mean edit and clean up. Okay. I may also use it as a way of meeting other people to come on my podcast. And then too, I get a lot of ideas in terms of just going on live streaming events, in terms of information that I can provide on my blog or trainings. Like Dakisha was just saying that, just hearing people and some of their struggles gives you an idea of where the interest is, where the question is. But like everyone else said, I just like the conversational nature of it, where it's not just one person, but a number of people. Yes. And after a while, you feel like you know
them.
And I'll say this and then I'll get off, but don't be surprised after you've done this, because I was saying on another Blab a while back, I was at the airport recently waiting on a flight, and this lady came up to me.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh.
And she said, I know you. And I was thinking, what did I do? And she was telling me how she had listened to my podcast. And on the basis of that, just felt like she knew me. And Blab and live streaming as well. If a podcast can do that, you can imagine what live streaming can do. So you guys are going to become little celebrities in no time because you're very engaging. Okay.
Cherie, tell me a little bit about what you do and where you're from, my dear.
Okay. In a nutshell, I'm originally from Denver, but I now live in Florida. Okay. And I'm a therapist who was a stockbroker for 11 years. So I understand the business cycle. So my podcast focuses on the psychological aspect of business. What are some of the things that we may know what we need to do, but we don't do it? So I help people sort of understand, what are some of the stumbling blocks? What are some of the ways that you self-sabotage yourself? And give you some tools to get over that. And I also feature people who are doing those things. So you get a real world example of people who've been in your situation and what they did to get around it. I recently featured a couple who took like 8 months off and just traveled. And once they came back home, they realized they couldn't go back to their old lifestyle.
Wow.
Nice.
So, yeah, they figured out a way, and they've been doing it for 3 years now, where they just travel the world. Wow. And they sell on Amazon and blog about 5-star hotel locations. And yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And they've done it after 3 years. They're now in the enviable position of basically saying, where do we want to be? We want to continue to travel, but we want to have a set location now that we can go from. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Wow, I love it. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you and meeting you this morning. Wow.
Well, I'm always, I'm always supportive of women coming on here because so many times we stop ourselves. We come up with a million different reasons why it won't work for us.
I know that's right. You better tell it.
Really.
Look at the face. Look at the face.
She's right.
Yeah.
So I always like to come on and applaud and support other women who are out there, kicking it. Okay. So
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's give Sherry some props. I love it. I love it. Okay.
All righty.
And make sure you are following Sherry so you will catch her blabs.
Nice.
Listen, Sherry, type over in the message where we can find your podcast and where we can connect with you on other social media platforms.
Well, let me just say, I'm everywhere. So
pick one. You got to pick one.
Now, I will say this, and people are always amazed when I say it. The only place I am not is Facebook.
Wow.
Yes, that for me, and I'm doing two things at one time. It just, for me, involves more jumping over hurdles than I was willing to do. But there's my website. But I'm on Instagram. I'm on Google Plus. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on Medium. Every other place I am. Okay. So, and I've been around for a while. But people always are amazed when they say, well, I went to Facebook and I couldn't find you. And I said, there's a reason.
Well, Sherry, thank you so much for jumping in this morning. And you guys make sure you follow Sherry.
Yes, definitely will. Wow, this has been so amazing this morning. Yes.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.
Yes,
I gotta go get ready for the next one.
The next one, right? All right. Okay, so let me see if I could bring in the greens. Let's see if we can finally get the greens, and the greens will be the last one for this morning, because I am also joining Dikisha on the Evergreen Prospecting Sequence meets the Evergreen Event Sequence. And yes, Vanessa, you can join. There they go. Oh, Dikisha is back. Dikisha said, y'all not going to have to.
Oh, see, I knew Dikisha wasn't going to see when the greens came in. Here comes Dikisha.
I cheated.
Hi, James. Good morning. How are you guys
Can you hear
doing?
us?
Yes, we hear you well.
Yes.
How's everyone doing?
Everybody is doing wonderful. Awesome. I'm so glad that you made it.
America's favorite couple.
It's so exciting to see all of you this morning.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And I want to say that this is a great platform. I love it.
Well, good. This is my first time, and I absolutely love it. I fell in love with it already.
Yes. You guys, Cynthia and James, you guys could rock out this platform.
Oh
I mean,
man.
being able to have people come on to ask you questions,
Mhm.
about marriage and different things, and being able to answer their questions right there on the spot and connecting with them. I think that is key. So,
Yeah, and for me, this is my first time on this particular platform. So you're right. This is a great platform for people to come on if they have relationship or marriage questions that they can
Absolutely.
ask,
Yeah.
and we can help them.
Okay. Well, before we end, tell us a little bit about what it is that you do. Okay, because we know you, but our audience, might not know who you are. Okay, so just go ahead and share with us a little.
Before you do, I'm going to jump off. I just had to say hi. I had to
Hi.
and say hi to the green. Have a great morning, but I will listen in. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Keisha. All right. Yeah. So just share with us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and tell us a little bit about what you do and how we could connect with you.
Originally, I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and my wife is from Fayetteville, North Carolina, where we currently reside in Maryland. And we are communication strategists and relationship experts.
Yes, and we are on a mission to tell the world that not only do we have an awesome marriage, but we know some tools that can help every couple have the 100% successful marriage that God ordained for every one of us to have. And so our message is all about giving them those tools, and we bring it to a platform from talking about their emotional intelligence and what their body language is saying to help them to increase their awareness, which will help affect and increase their relationship.
Nice. I love it. Okay. All right. Great. And how can we connect with you?
You can connect with us on Facebook at Marriage Built to Last. That's the numeral 2. That's on Marriage Built to Last. You can also text the word marriage to 443-201-7723, and also go to www.marriagebuilttolastwebinars.com. And remember, that's the numeral 2.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this blab this morning. Awesome. Okay.
And we just want to thank you for having us.
Oh, no problem. You know, I can't wait to see the reality show. I can't wait. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting on. I can't wait. Okay.
And that will be coming very soon.
Very soon. I'll make sure that I look out for it. Awesome. Okay. So I'm just going to tell everyone this has been great. It has been wonderful, but I have to jump off. We have to jump off because we are doing another blab at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we're talking about the evergreen prospecting sequence meets the evergreen event sequence. So if you are out there, and once again, we talked about live streaming platforms this morning. So if you do broadcasts or webinars, how do you get those eyes on the screen for your webinars? How do you get the butts in the seats for your live events? So that's what we're going to be sharing coming up in 45 minutes, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So thank you guys once again for joining us this morning.
Vanessa, do you have the link to your next blab? Someone's asking.
It's scheduled. Wait, I do have the link. I'll post it. Give me just 1 second. I can do that.
Cool. Thank you, Sherry, for keeping us accountable, making sure we have this information to share. Okay. Well, again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Taria, have I made a believer out of you?
Yes. I am a believer. And so if you would like to watch the blab coming up at 12 o'clock, here is the link. I'm posting it in the group right now, or in the chat, I should say.
Okay.
My little computer is up high, so I look funny typing. I'm going to make sure I spell it correctly.
That would be good.
There it is. Okay, so it's bit.ly.evergreen revenue model. So it's right there in the group if you would like to join us in 45 minutes for our next blab. We'll be here. Okay?
All right.
All right. All right. And that's it.
Love you
Love you
guys.
guys.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I think you just stopped the recording.
I was just about to say, how do I end it?
Stop the recording before you close.